Okay, when you look at the cell phone, we want to make sure that we look down, tilting the head slightly with the cell phone in front of us, rather than looking straight down at the cell phone. It's just too extreme of an angle on the neck. And when we look down, typically we want to look down from the top down, not over tuck the chin, and not push the head forward. Okay, now we're going to work on forward bending. So if we first just nod the head down to fist under chin position, and then do a forward fold, and we want to let the spine move segmentally, flow down, and then on the way up we want to stack the spine back up one segment at a time. Okay, for turning, when we turn the head, we want to make sure that we stay on plane to turn the head, and to make sure that we're not side bending at the same time that we're turning. It's much more stressful on the neck, and if it's a habit, it can really cause some long-term problems. So make sure we stay on plane. And one way to help that process is to do a little yes at the end of the motion. When we do a larger motion, it's important that you turn the spine from the bottom up. So rather than cranking the head first and then trying to turn, if we turn from the base of the spine on up, it's much nicer for the neck. So you can practice turning from the bottom up when you know you have a bigger turn to do. Let's talk about turning the spine. We want to turn the spine from the bottom up. So if you put your hand on your abdomen and then feel your belly turn first, and then the chest, shoulders, and then we'll reach last. And then let's do the other side. So feel the belly turn, the chest, the shoulders, and finally the reach, very last thing. Okay, with side bending, it's important not to crank the muscles on the side that we're using, because it's gravity assisted motion. You can very gently just let the head go to the side, use the least amount of effort, and then when you come back up, we want to stack the spine from the bottom up. So important not to crank the side of the neck muscles when we turn sideways, and let it go from the bottom up. Okay, as far as side bending the whole spine, it's important to come down one segment at a time to lead with the head. So let's go ahead and lay down to the side. Good. And then on the way back up, it's important to let the head come up last. So if you look down, stack the spine from the bottom up so that the head comes up last. Okay, now when we look up, it's important to stack the spine from the bottom up. So as we extend from the bottom up, and we would look up last. Very good. Okay, when we talk about looking up, this concept of looking up and extending the spine, if we contrast the old man at the nursing home versus a child, it's kind of a good example of how to extend the body properly. So if you think of the old man in the nursing home, if he looks up, he tends to maybe go like this, right? But if you think of a child looking up at the stars, when they look up, the child would extend from the bottom of the spine. So you can practice extending from the bottom up of the spine.